So we're here to talk about meditation. Yes? Mm. How many of you meditate? Let's show of hands the other way. How many do not meditate? Two. So you're here to try to learn how to meditate? Yeah? Yeah. Good. So I might change your view on what meditation is tonight. We'll say. How many have not been to a tea talk before? But you guys know me. So sorry about that. So, yes, if I remember. Yeah. Tai Chi students of mine from before. Paul's a Tai Chi student. That's his wife. How many? So people who haven't been to a tea talk before, have you been to Nirvana before? Yes. Do you know my background? No. So a lot of people here do know my background, but you know, I mean, I guess if I showed up to a class and I didn't know the person, I would say, like, what the heck do you know anyway, right? And where did you get your information from? I'll keep that brief. So from a very young, I grew up in Ireland, and from a very, very young age, I've been pursuing, who am I? Where do I belong? Where do I come from? Where am I going? What is this all about? Is there a God? Is there not? I don't know. What is happening here? Why are we all here? That has been a question in my life since I've been a kid. So I've spent a lifetime seeking that, 30 years meditating, 30 years martial arts. So a lot of my pursuit in life has been, who is this? Not just my name and identity of this human being, but who am I beyond this? So lots of things come to you in meditation when you get deep into meditation. So I call this the how, when, and why. Like, why meditate? Does anybody have any answers for that? Why do you meditate? Hold on, you all said you were meditating. Wow. Why do you meditate?
Still, to hear what's going on inside.
To hear what's going on inside? To get peace. To get peace? To get peace.
Very calming.
Calming. Anybody else?
Stop thinking about everything else in the world. Let the world stop for a minute.
The world stop for a minute. Anybody else? Yes?
Train my focus.
Train your focus.
Connecting with the universe.
Connected with the universe. It's bigger.
To regulate emotion.
Regulate emotion. That doesn't seem to work for me after 30 years. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, I think I'm going to change your perspective on meditation tonight. So the answers that you're mostly giving to me are, you're trying to find a way out of this noise in your head and to find some peace and calm and, calm emotions down, calm your mind down, and all that, right? A dog can do that like this. You've seen a dog lie down? Just poof, or a cat. In 1 second, the cat's like, rah, I'm done. Why is it so hard for us? Because the cat doesn't have all the stuff going on in its head going, what time do I have to get up tomorrow? We create all the stuff ourselves. Meditation is your connection with who you really are. It's your connection with the divine. It's your connection with the eternal awareness. That's what it is. Because you meditate, you will find peace and quiet and calm, and your emotions calm down. And those things happen, right? But meditation practice is not of the body, it's not of your emotions, and it's not of your mind. Meditation has nothing to do with your mind. It's a hard one, right? So what happens in meditation is that you go beyond your mind. And when you go beyond your mind, you'll realize that there's still an awareness, even though it's not this mind, but there's an awareness that's still there. And that's the awareness. I'm going to preface this talk by saying this, okay? Because our master used to say this, martial arts master used to give a lot of talks, and he would say, you don't have to believe what I'm saying, but you can try it out for yourself, right? But if you don't believe it, just take it as an academic lecture. But if you try it out for yourself, I think you'll find it to be true. The beginning and end of you is not your birth and your death. The beginning and end of you is not your birth and death. You have no beginning and you have no end. You will continue on as you have continued before. You are eternal. You just don't know it yet. But you're eternal. The body will go. So it's almost like daffodils come back every year. Yes? From the same bulb. Yes? Am I right? But you know plants. Yeah. So the daffodil, every year the daffodil comes back from the same bulb. But it's a very different daffodil, isn't it? It's not the same as the one as last year. This is a unique daffodil, but it's coming from the same bulb. That's like you. Yes, you have lived many lives, and you come back from the same source, but a unique expression of it. It's very quiet in here. That should be good news to you. So what you're really doing in meditation is connecting with that. And then when you know that as a real experience, you go, oh, the troubles that I think are important don't really mean much. Because like the daffodil, they just go away. Next time, you know. Unfortunately, when you come back, the information that was in the bulb is now there again. So meditation is a lot more than just sitting quiet and try to calm your thoughts and your emotions. There's so much more to that. Any practice, yoga practice, Tai Chi practice, Qigong practice, and the practice of sitting down to meditate and getting your body calm and your mind calm is just getting you into a place where you can know it. That's all it is. Yoga is not it. Tai Chi is not it. The sitting is not it. It's just getting you to a place where you can be there. That's it. It's getting you into a quality and a condition. Hence, the practice has to be continual. And it is accumulative. It builds up. How many people meditate every day? You're like hesitant to put your hand on it. It's like, I don't want to tell people I'm meditating every day. It should be, yes, I meditate every day. Yes? Yes. Yes. So meditation should become a daily practice, right? That can be tough, right? A daily practice can be tough. But how tough is it really? What are you doing? You're sitting down and being quiet. Like, how difficult is that? It's like, I don't have time for that. I don't have time to sit down and be quiet. Of course you have time to sit down and be quiet. And I can tell you why you have time to sit down and be quiet, because you're watching TV. Just turn it off for 20 minutes. You know? Just turn it off for 20 minutes and go sit quietly. It needs to become a daily practice if you're serious about meditation. I mean, how many people have heard of Larry Bird? Basketball player? LeBron James? Okay. Do you think they got good by practicing once a week? Once a week practice, that'll be fine. It's non-stop practice for them, right? They get that good from non-stop practice. Well, do you want to be good at meditation? Then you have to practice it, right? That's the only way you're going to get good at it is repetitive practice, sitting down. Now, let's start with this. There are 3 parts to meditating. There's the beginning, the essence, and the end. This is important. Don't just sit down and try to I'm meditating. I'm now meditating. What? What time? No, I can't go there. No, I'm meditating. Shh, I'm meditating. When I first started to meditate many, many years ago, we had a new dog. I went down into the basement. I'm sitting on a chair like this, I'm just sitting like this quietly, and the dog starts barking. And I opened up the door. I'm like, can you keep the dog quiet? I'm trying to meditate. I need my quiet time. Right? We want a perfect environment, right, to meditate. Eventually, when you get there, you can be in the middle of a football game and just go into meditation. You can leave that because your mind is not involved in it. But the 3 parts are really important. When you first sit down, well, actually, even before you sit down, it's very important to get the space ready. Don't just sit there. You notice, I don't know if you saw when you came in, but I was burning incense. Right? It's important to burn incense in the beginning to clear the space, right? And if you don't, we can talk a little bit about energy, but this will change the energy of the space for you. So it's important to have the energy correct in the space before you sit there. So I always burn incense every time when I'm sitting. I actually take the stick while it's burning and I put it all around, right? Because the incense changes the space. So that's important to have the space ready, okay? Now in the space, it's always good to put, I don't know who you follow or who you listen to or who you look up to or what the divine means to you, but you should surround your space with these things so that in your space is all that energy to help you into your meditation. Whatever it is for you, you should put it there, whether it's pictures or, it could be a bell you really like or something, like anything that will create the space for you, for the energy of that space, okay? That's important. So there's always this idea that to be thankful, right? Having gratitude, and that's really good. Well, when you're beginning meditation, you give an offering. You offer, right? So what I do is I say, this meditation and practice and prayer is for, instead of give me, give me, give me, give me. I'm here to get. No, you're here to give, right? You give, you get, okay? The more you give, the more you get. So you offer. So it could be an offering to your family, to a friend, to a special someone, to the universe. It could be to anything, but give an offering. Offer the practice to something, okay? That's important. Not sit down and go, I want $1 million. I want $1 million. If I just tune in, I'll be able to see the ticket. That's a ticket. So it's important to give the offering. This is important too, it's a very different way of looking at things. We're used to when a meal comes and we say, thank you. Yes? But we don't offer it to anyone. Right? Are we offering it to anyone? We're like, thank you, it's mine, mine. Right? Actually, if you sit down to eat, you should offer the food too. Give it as an offering, this food I offer to whoever. It changes the whole dynamic of what's happening. It's not about me, 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 me. It's about the other, the other, the other, the other, the other. Okay? That's important. Now you're into the essence, right? And the essence is just sit down and shut up. But those thoughts, right? Those thoughts come in, you know? Those thoughts come in. You might have been told before that, like, when the thought comes in, just like block the thought out. If you block the thought out, all you're going to think about is that thought. It's like saying, don't think of a pink elephant. The first thing you think of is a pink elephant. It's the first thing that pops into your head, right? Don't think of a pink elephant. Oh, crap, there's the pink elephant. Right? So if you say no to the thought, it's your mind is on the thought now. You have to let the thought come in and entertain it and go, oh, I'm thinking about that. On you go. Another thought comes in, oh, I'm thinking about that. Okay, let it go. And just entertain it and let it go. Entertain it and let it go. And in time, your mind, it just passes by like you're not even paying attention to it. It just goes by, but it's like in the background now. It goes more in the background and more in the background. And over time, they don't exist at all. It's just quietness. Now you're starting to connect with that because now your mind is just off and you leave it. Now you can go into meditation with an intention. You can set an intention, right? It could be anything. I was just telling Lisa. So lately things have been happening at my home. So in the middle of the night, I wake up and my TV is on. I live alone. There's no one there. And my TV is on. And I walk out, I'm like, my TV's on. Who the heck's turning on my TV? Turn it off. Last week, same thing. Middle of the night, I walk out, my TV's on. Someone's turning my TV on. Turn it off, go back to bed. A few days ago, I wake up, there's a lamp on in my bedroom. Okay, someone's turned on my lamp now. And then just yesterday or the day before, I wake up early in the morning, it's still dark outside, and 2 lamps are on in my living room. I know I didn't turn them on. And one especially I never turn on. And they both were on. So I sat down in meditation, I'm like, who? In my meditation, I'm like, in with the intention, sit down, have the intention, who's turning on my lights? And just let it go. Don't look for an answer, because your mind will create one. If you look for an answer, your mind will create one. Ask the question and just let go. Like you just don't care, right? And all of a sudden, boom, it'll pop into your head, the answer. And I got my answer. And if I told you what the answer is, you'd all walk out. So you'd all leave in a heartbeat. So we'll leave that for another day. But I got my answer, you know. So I know who's turning on my lights. So you can go in with an intention in there. But it's really important, if you're going to ask the question, just let it go. You may not get an answer for like 5 weeks. You're like, really? Really? I kind of needed to know this, but like, okay. And 5 weeks later, you're like, boom, you're like, oh, there's my answer, right? So don't look for it. It will come at the right time for you. If you let it go, it'll come at the right time when you need it. So you can have that intention. The peaceful mind, the calm emotions, automatically happen because of meditating. It just happens. And then you'll be able to, with practice, like I said, in the middle of a football game, just like, pump, psh, I'm out. And just leave it and be by yourself. Because you can just leave that behind. The ending the meditation is also important. You might have heard the saying, may all sentient beings be free from suffering. You've heard this? What? We know what sentient beings are, yes? We are. A fly is. Okay? Anything is sentient being unless it's, this, right? So, may all sentient beings be free from suffering. That includes you. So, offering that at the end is a way, again, of offering and saying, like a prayer, may all sentient beings be free from suffering. Okay? So you finished with a kind of prayer of offering again. So there's always, get your space right. There's a beginning offering, the essence of your practice in the end. Don't just sit down with no intention and then get up. Right? You're not meditating. You have to let yourself come into it with the offering, spend time in it, and then offer it something before you come out of it. Okay? How many put on a timer? You put on a timer? Don't do that anymore. No more timers. No more timers. You know what a timer does? It interrupts your meditation. Because you might be just getting to a place and like bing, 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 and there goes the timer, right? You will get used to knowing how long you're there. You will get used to it. I've gotten so used to it that I can take a stick like this and go, I want to meditate for that long. And I put it on, and when I'm done, it just burned out. You get used to the time you're sitting. And by the way, it just goes by like this. So as the guru said, if you want a short life, meditate more. Because the time goes by really quickly. The time goes by very, very quickly when you're meditating, right? It seems like it's like, what happened? Oh, I've been here for a half hour. What happened? Right? That's the other question I have for you. How long do you meditate? Come on, don't be shy. How long do you meditate? Come on, all these people meditate. How long do you meditate?
Well, I read, they did a study with soldiers, Marines.
Uh-huh.
Took one group and taught them to meditate. The other group, they did not. Because they were finding prior to going overseas that the group, that they were having trouble with the soldiers keeping their attention or and preparing to go overseas. They were thinking about their family, their kids, etc. So they taught one group to meditate and one group not to.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of things came out of that. The group that meditated did much better when they went overseas,
Mm-hmm.
in many aspects. The other aspect of it, they said they had to have the soldiers meditate for at least 12 minutes a day. 12 minutes was
12 minutes was they
got the benefit. If they got over 12 minutes, they got the benefit.
Right.
If
But at least 12.
At least 12. But if they were under 12 minutes, they didn't think they got the benefit.
Ah.
So I meditate at least 12 minutes.
Who said an hour?
I know. I try sometimes.
20 minutes?
30 minutes.
30 minutes? 20? 20? 5 to 10? It's not 12. It's not 12.
Go to 12.
5 to 12. Anybody else? 15? 15? We got to increase. So you should try to do at least 20 minutes. Half hour is better. And then once in a while, sit there for a couple hours. Really? A couple of hours? I don't know if I have the patience for that. That's your mind. Because when you're sitting there, you're out of your mind. The time doesn't matter. It just goes by, and then you're there. Okay. But try to do at least 20 minutes. Okay. Because it takes time to get into it, right? Do the beginning, do the middle, and do the end. And don't rush. Take your time. So you got to set time for this. So get up earlier. You can do it. You can do it. You can get up 20 minutes early. You can do this, right? If you really want to meditate and get the benefits of meditation and know who you are, like it's important to have a practice at least 20 minutes. You know? Okay? So
Every
good.
day?
Every day. Yeah, every day.
Do you do it once a day or twice a day?
Do I? I'll do it at least once a day, a lot of times twice a day, morning and evening. And then weekends I'll sit there maybe for a couple hours sometimes and just hang out. Yeah. But I'll do things like I'll go away for a weekend and I'll put myself into a room for 2 days and just do mantra and meditation for 2 days and just sit there and do that. And that's the other thing is like I don't just sit and meditate. I do mantra as well before I get into the meditation. I say mantra with the beats 100 times. Yeah, different ones. Do you know what mantra is? Yes?
No.
I see a nodding head. Can you explain mantra to me?
It's a saying or a phrase that you would say to yourself.
Well, what is it though? Not what the phrase is, but what is it for, the mantra?
It's for focus. You're focusing on the word.
But what does that do?
It focuses your meditation.
May I ask you where you learned that?
I mean, I've had a meditation teacher that talked about that. There's other meditation teachers out there that describe that as well.
So, few rules with mantra. Never say a mantra you don't know what the result is of. Don't ever say a mantra unless you know what the intention of the mantra is and what the result is. And I'll tell you why in a minute. Mantra sets up vibration. That's what it does. That's why most of them are Sanskrit. It sets up vibration. There's a cadence to it. There's a certain amount of sounds within each line. They're done for a purpose to set up a vibration. And the vibration causes change. So it's much more than just the words. So you got to be careful, and I'll tell you why. So I was given mantras by a teacher I was with for a while. He told me what the mantras were for. And he said, this particular mantra, he said, you don't want to do that till you're ready. And I'm like, okay. I thought I was ready. So I started doing the mantra. I actually went away for a weekend and I got a yurt. You know what a yurt is? Like glorified tent for a weekend by myself, and I was going to do mantra and meditation the whole weekend in this yurt. And so I went there and I started practicing this mantra that he said, when you're ready, I started practicing the mantra. And things started to change. You know, like I started to feel different, and like the night that I spent there was a little weird, you know, like I felt the energy was a little weird. And next morning I got up and I'm like, I probably shouldn't do the mantra, but I did the mantra. And I'm walking around doing the mantra, and things are really starting to change. The energy is really starting to change. And now I'm talking to myself going, you know, it's almost lunchtime. I'm going to be leaving tomorrow morning. Probably be a good idea if I just packed. Like I'd be ready to go, you know, just pack. Why not? I'll just pack. And then I'm packing and I'm like, you know, I'm already packed. I should go. Why bother staying? You know why I left? Because I was scared to death of the energy that was coming. I had no idea what it was, but I felt it, and I'm like, I am not ready for this. So I told my teacher, he goes, there's a reason why I told you not to do that mantra. Not ready for it. So it's important you have to know what it's for, okay? The mantras that I do are very simple mantras. Well, some of them are complicated, but they're very simple mantra. And it's like, overall, it's like for clearing blockages, let's say. Clearing karma. It's simple stuff. So one of them is very simple. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Ye Soha. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Ye Soha. I'll say that 100 times. Right? And there are other ones that are more complicated, but
In
Your breath doesn't matter. No.
Okay, because I do in some mantras, they get some.
Your breath doesn't matter. No. I know this whole idea. Yes. So I have the little one here, but I have a full bead at home, and there's 108 on it. So I use that when I count. And then there's a big one, so you know you're there. But like when I go away for a weekend, I'll do thousands of these things, of the mantras. And then the energy really starts to change. But it's important not to know what the mantra is and what it means and what the vibration is going to create and cause. That's really important. Okay. The mantras that I do, by the way, I got from the monks in Bhutan. You guys know where Bhutan is? Bhutan is landlocked between India and China and Nepal. It's a little country. It's all Buddhist. I'm not Buddhist, but this is a Buddhist country. And I was there in October, and I spent the whole time, 2 weeks, with monks in monasteries. With my friend Kencho, his 2 sons are monks, learning from the monks, learning the mantras. And the Lama over there is teaching me a new mantra and sending me, little snippets, because it's Sanskrit. It's hard to learn. It's hard to learn, So it takes a while to get the sound correct. So he'd send me one line at a time so I can learn it. And he says it, so I can listen to it over and over again just to get the cadence right and get the sound right for the mantra. And the one that he's sending me right now is like this long. It'll take me an hour just to say it, But it takes time to learn them. So I do mantra and then I sit quietly because I create the energy and then I sit in the energy. Okay? The best time is in the morning when you get up. The reason for that is when you go about your day, there's all this stuff that, I don't know if you noticed, but how many people get up early in the morning? Don't you find it's quieter in the morning? Definitely, right? Why is that, you think? Why is it quieter in the morning? It's very simple. There's not a lot of people up, and it's not very busy outside. People have energy. Thoughts have energy. So when you wake up and the world wakes up, and the energy starts to go like this. But in the morning, it's quiet because there's not a lot of people up. Everyone's kind of quiet. They're getting out of bed. Right? The energy is quieter. It's a good time to meditate. Or later at night, you notice it calms down. The energy calms down because people are calming down for the day. The energy is getting quieter. But the issue is, at night is that you might get tired. And then you're like just falling asleep. So you got to watch for that. So morning is the best time, 10, 15 minutes after you wake up. Because you're still in that mode. You've just gotten out of bed. Your consciousness is not flying around, and you're a little more relaxed. Okay? So I'm going to ask you to just be 2 minutes. Just close your eyes. Close your eyes just for 2 minutes. I'll watch the clock. No timer needed. I'll watch the clock just for 2 minutes. Just relax. I have a question for you to ask yourself. Why are you here? And you slowly bring your attention back to the room. How did we do? You learn all the secrets? They just downloaded into you. Like, there they are.
Felt like a long time to me. It felt longer than 2 minutes.
So it might have been 3. So very good. You knew it was more than 2 minutes. And I think it feels long when you're sitting in a group like this and there's an anticipation, going on. So there's an expectation. It's only 2 minutes, so it feels longer to you. When you get lost in meditation, time it just goes away. You don't even think about time at all. Time doesn't exist there. Time is a physical dimension that doesn't exist when you're not. Yeah. When I was in Bhutan with a lot of monks, I was privileged to be able to spend time in monasteries that a lot of the Bhutanese people aren't allowed in. No outsiders outside the country allowed in. I know Khencho is a good friend of mine. 2 of his sons are monks, and his wife is very connected to this one monk they call the Oracle. In fact, these strings that I have around here are blessed by this Oracle from there. I'll share one thing with you because it's important. I witnessed things there that you would look at them and say, that's miraculous. That just can't happen. But it was happening in front of my eyes. I'll share one thing with you. So I brought this scarf tonight for a reason. So this is one of the silk scarves they use over there for, actually when you go to Bhutan, you have to have a guide. You cannot go there by yourself. You have to have a guide. And they greet you with one of the scarves and they put it around you, And they use this for rituals with the monks and all kinds of stuff. And there's a reason they use that, but I can tell you about it later. But anyway, this particular scarf is very important because when I was with the Oracle has a spirit that visits him, comes through him. And I was there for that. They actually set this up for me, which is like extraordinary. I wasn't expecting this, but they set the whole thing up for me for this to happen. And so anyway, long story short, when he visited him and I was there, the spirit through the Oracle was talking directly to me. Shaking his finger at me a lot. And then I couldn't understand what they're saying, obviously. And sometimes the Oracle is speaking in a language that not Bhutanese. So there are a couple of elder monks there that know the Sanskrit and they write it down because he's speaking in different languages. So all of a sudden they grabbed this scarf and they said, hold your hands out. And they put the scarf across. And the Oracle had this metal, it's a sort of dagger thing, but it's not. But anyway, and they use rice to bless, right? They use rice. So he's throwing rice at me, right? Blessing, he's throwing rice at me. And then he puts rice on this thing and he puts it into the scarf. It's like just a few little pieces. And Khencho grabbed it right away, put a knot in it, and I took it home. So I came home with this, with a few pieces of rice in it. And so I got home and I opened it up. And when I opened it up, it wasn't rice anymore. It was crystal. Paul has seen it, picture of it, and Lisa has seen a picture of it. They can testify to you that the picture I showed them, it's crystal. It's no longer rice. It changed into like selenite. Is that what you'd call it? Some kind of crystal. Yeah, those things happen. They think it's normal. For them, it's just normal stuff. It's not out of this world. It's just normal stuff. Like I told Ken, she was like, yeah. Yeah. Energy can be changed. And you know it. You know how you know it? You just took some tea. Is that going to remain tea? Is that going to remain tea inside of you? Or is it going to be transformed into something else? It's going to be transformed into something else. Energy changes into something else. It happens all the time. Anything you eat or drink transforms into energy in your body. The oxygen that you breathe goes into your blood, goes into your brain. It's transformed into something else. Energy is always changing. This is no different. Energy just changed into something else, right? So those pieces of crystal are here around my neck. I was told to wear them. And so they're here in a pouch that I have. How many have had experiences in meditation? Like experiences that you would think, yes, ma'am? You put your hand up. Can you tell us?
Well, I mean, I've seen images, I've talked to myself, I've connected with, my loved ones. So, all.
Anybody else? Yes? Yeah, you put your hand up. It looks like your hand is up.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot recently, a lot of meditations, and making that connection with light and following it up to quite a distance, and seeing geometric symbols out there, finding a nice space to be out there where I can set an intention and then coming back. So I've been working with light energies
Mhm.
for clearing to the chakras, light energy to also fill out my auric field, and working a lot with grounding, which is one of the reasons I came here tonight, because when I'm in this energy, it's often hard to get back down and stay grounded and continue to hold that energy.
Yep. Anybody else?
I have a word come to me very strongly.
And it is?
This particular time is create.
Create? Yeah? Seems like you're creating, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Right? You are creating all the time, seems like. Right?
But
So-
it answered the question that I had. My intention, I asked a question.
The answer was create?
And then the answer was create.
There you go. Well, we are creators. You know that, right? I mean, I got news for you, but like, the life that you're living right now, you created. Your words, thoughts, intentions create what you have, along with karma. But so, what I want to say about experience in meditation is don't go chasing it. If you have a great experience, you're like, oh my God, it's 100%. I gotta go back and I gotta have this again. Do not do that. You can't have the same cup of tea twice. You know? It's a new cup of tea. You can't have the same one twice. So you gotta let go of trying to chase an experience that you've had. Let it go and just move on. And more will come. And they're just like a cup of tea, let them go. We want to hold on to the great ones. Oh my God, that was that. Just let them go. Don't. You'll get stuck. You'll get stuck in your meditation if you're going to chase the same thing over and over again. Okay, you got to let it go. In meditation, you become like, you know those huge antennas? Was it Texas? It's like a huge array of these huge antennas out there, right? The big discs. They're gigantic, right? So that antenna is not looking for anything. You know that, right? It's not looking for anything. It's receiving. It's just picking up whatever's coming into it, right? And that's what you got to be in meditation, just a receiver. Don't go looking. Just be open, and it comes. The more open, more information. And you'll realize the more open you become, you'll get information, and you don't even know how you got it. You don't even know how you got it, but you know things that you don't even know how you learned these things, but you know it because you're in touch with everything. This may be hard to understand, but every thought, word, and action that has ever been throughout history is still here in this moment right now. There's no past, there's no future. It's just here. It's all present. And all of the thoughts, words, deeds, and actions from everybody that ever lived, including you, are here right now.
This room?
Yes, all around you, everywhere. You can tune into it anywhere. It is all one. It's kind of like you see a distance between me and Lisa sitting over there. You see that distance? Okay? In reality, there's no distance between us. It's just your eyes telling you that there's this and there's that. But what's between us?
Space.
Really? Is it empty space? Is it empty space between me and Lisa?
I don't think so.
What's there?
Energy.
Energy is there, right? We know that air is there. We can't see it or touch it or feel it, but oxygen is there for sure. So there's energy between me and Lisa. So Lisa's energy and my energy are connected through this energy. Where's the separation now? There is none.
Just between your bodies.
What do you mean? Between me and her, there's no space. It looks like there's space from me to her, but the energy in this room is one energy. It's kind of like this. If I get into a swimming pool, I'm on one end, you're on the other end. The water is touching us, yeah? So if you get in tune with the water, where's the space? Now there's no distance between the two because it's all one connection. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That was a good analogy.
Good,
Thank you.
good. Yeah. Now you're in tune with the oneness. There's no separation. I don't know how much, well, your belief systems are your belief systems, but, I grew up Catholic. Anyway, but Jesus was real, right? And what he said was true. What you do to another, you do to yourself. That's real. Because beyond this, there's just oneness, and you're doing it to yourself. Any thought that you have that's negative towards anyone else, it's on yourself. Like the Buddha said, you pick up a hot stone to throw at someone, you're the one that's going to get burned. You're doing it to yourself. This is the thing you'll realize in meditation. When you get deep into meditation, you'll realize there's just one. It's all one. We are all one beyond this physical thing. There's just a oneness. And so what you do to another, you literally do to yourself. Yes. Lisa, what time is it? Can't. So we're going to take a little break, bathroom break. We're going to come back. I'm going to talk a little more, and then I'll open it up to some questions. Okay? All right. Let's take a quick break. You get 2 minutes. Well, you said it was a long time, so 2 minutes should be enough. What's the most important thing to you in your life?
Family.
What? Family. That's usually the answer, right?
Giving and receiving love.
Giving and receiving love. That's what you do with family, right?
Safety.
What?
Safety.
Safety. Anybody else? Most important thing in life, in your life. So selfish.
I think and I okay, everything is okay around me. And I
It's-
take care of myself.
I understand there's a difference between self-centered and centered self. Right?
Okay.
So centered self, yes, not self-centered. Yeah. Anybody else?
Joy,
Joy,
joy.
most important thing. Anybody else? Anybody else? Connection? Yes. Well-being, good one. Are we missing somebody? Or is everybody back?
Breath.
What?
Breath.
Oh no, I'm saying, are we missing somebody in the bathroom? Yes? Yeah. Wait a minute. You gonna ask me what the most important thing to me in my life is?
Yeah.
Yeah?
What is it?
Ooh.
Turn the light on.
Turn the light on? What?
Turn the lights on.
Most important to me is turning my lights on. Hmm. Most important thing to me in my life is who am I?
That is what I'm trying to say, sorry.
That's what you're trying to say? Because I got news for you. Joy comes and goes. Family will go. You will go. You will not be here soon. Oops, sorry.
How soon? How soon?
When I say soon, you know, we're like, when you think about the Earth's been around for what, 13 billion years? What are we, like a ping? Not even a, like, what happened? Oh yeah. Right. The time that we're here is very, very short. Right. But don't worry, you'll be back. And the thing is, as soon as you leave your body, you'll know that. And then you'll come back and you'll forget. And then you'll forget again. But when you leave your body, you'll remember. You're like, oh, yes, of course. And then you come back and you're like, what? What do you mean? No, there isn't. But you can know that through meditation. Like I know that through meditation as a real experience. Like you will get there. Do you notice that you've heard of near-death experiences? Yes? You notice they all kind of say the same thing, right? They see the light and they see this and their loved ones, blah, 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 right? They're all kind of seeing the same kind of thing, right? And the ones who come back all say the same thing, like, how amazing, right? They don't come back and go, that sucked. Like, that sucked. Like, I don't want to go there again. They all like, oh my God, right? There's a reason why. So everything in your brain, all the stuff, the emotions and the mental stuff that goes on in your brain, because understand that emotions are chemical. You understand this, right? It's a chemical released from your brain to make you feel a certain way. It's chemical. Emotions are chemical, okay? They're part of the human body and the mind. That's where the emotions come from. When you leave your body, no more chemical. So when you hear people the mediums that connect to people that have gone, right? None of them are anxious. All the people that they meet in the other side, none of them are anxious. None of them are upset. None of them have any grudges. Why? Because all that stuff is gone. But they know their lives. They're able to recognize their lives, but the emotion and the mental stuff is not there because the body and brain are dead. That's why. That's why when they connect to them, it's like that. They don't have that stuff in them is gone. Do we have any questions before I move on a little bit?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we talk more about grounding?
Grounding.
Not to hold on to the energy, but when you're getting very floaty, you don't want to stay in that state, or you get around a lot of energy. You get along like in a container. Like right now, we're in a bit of a container. A lot of people, a lot of energy, and I can feel it in myself. My energy rises up, and I don't want it to
Why not?
because I like being right here.
But you are.
Yes.
You're not floating up yet. You're still here.
I know, but inside, I start to feel I'm disconnecting and I'm just going up a bit.
Oh, so,
And I want to not do that. I wanna
all right.
feel-
So what's happening is you're disconnecting it, right? You shouldn't be disconnecting it. You could still stay connected to it. You can still stay connected to this while there.
Yes.
Yes. Unless, so I have a ring on. You notice this ring? It's not a wedding ring. It's there's copper in this ring. You know about copper.
Oh, yeah.
Copper keeps you grounded.
Okay. I got a few bracelets and necklaces at home.
Wear some copper. I wear this because I don't want to leave yet. Because in meditation you'll get to a place where you feel like, hey, I'm out. See you later. It's like, yeah, but I got $2 and a grandson, so so we'll hang on for a while. Anybody else got some questions?
I do. How do you keep your mind from predicting something? I mean, like when you're meditating, your mind can tell you something, and trying to keep that away from that.
What do you mean by telling you something?
Well,
Give me an example.
it's hard to say. You mentioned it before, like trying to be empty, I guess.
Sure.
But your mind sometimes comes in and tells you something or brings something in.
Thoughts come in.
Thoughts come in.
Yes.
But how do you keep that from, like, saying, you're seeing somebody, and your mind starts seeing the person. Do you want to keep it light?
I'm not sure I understand.
I know, I'm having a hard
You're
time.
thinking of a person and they show up?
Yeah, if you're meditating.
Right.
Yeah, and how do you?
Are you talking about people who are alive or passed on? Who are we talking about here?
Passed on.
Passed on. Thank you.
Yeah.
So how do you keep that person?
Well, am I embellishing it more? You know what I'm saying? Does
So-
your mind embellish it more, or you just?
Your mind can try to embellish it more.
Yeah.
But so that's a good question. How do you know, what's the difference between a real experience and your mind just making it up?
That's what I'm trying to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a good question because your mind can get involved and start creating a lot of stories, right? You know it's real when you're not expecting it. When it comes to you and you're like, what the heck? No, I did not expect that to happen. You know, it's out of your normal idea of how you would normally think or see things, and it come to you and you go, wow, that's different. Like, for instance, Saturday morning, this past Saturday, no, it was a Saturday, wow, time goes by. Was it a Saturday? Wow, I can't even remember. I think it was the Saturday. I had an electrician come by and put some lights up in my daughter's house. And I know him, for a good few years. And I'm meditating Saturday morning before he shows up at my house, and I'm meditating. I'm just doing my normal routine. I'm going with that. And then popped into my head, I see my grandson in the house, in my daughter's house, running over to Darren and hugging him. And I thought, well, that's weird. He doesn't hug anybody. Like he when somebody stranger comes in, he grabs onto mom, right? I go over there now. He's like, "Hey, Papa," and just goes the other way. Doesn't even come to me. So I'm like, that's weird. I went to the house. Darren shows up. We're in the kitchen. Parker, right over to him and hugged him. I already saw the future. Ooh. How did I see the future? because there is no time there. Future and past don't exist there. It's just one. So the future, yes. I know that's getting a little crazy, but yes, you can see the future. So I saw that happen. And then I stood there and I looked at Parker and I'm like, holy, and my daughter's like, he never does this. He'd never met this man before. And went and hugged him, right? So things like that happen. Then you know, I didn't make that up. That just happened, right? It came to me and then it happened. Say, okay, there it goes. Any other questions?
If I saw that happen, if I was your daughter, I'm too old to be your daughter, but if I was, I would think Parker was subconsciously attracted to that man. Like he knew him before, or his energy was loving or something.
And you'd be right.
Oh, okay. I would think that.
You'd be right.
I mean, I think you see it with children often.
Yes. So, okay, we're we're getting into a little more than meditation, but that's okay. Okay.
You don't have to answer me.
No, it's okay. Do you want to go a little bit deeper?
Yes, it's important to understand how you can get in that state.
What's that?
It's really important to understand how you can get there.
How you can get there?
You.
You want to understand how I get there?
Yes.
30 years of meditating. I think what's really, really important about getting to places like that, and I use the word place, it's not a place, but we have words, okay? What's really important is that you got to let go of your belief structure. Whatever the heck it is you grew up with, whatever belief structure you have, you just got to throw that out the window. Any belief structure is going to keep you trapped in the belief structure. You just are, right? It limits you. If you get rid of your belief structure, now it's open. It's like taking an antenna that we talked about, right? And directing it at just one thing, right? Well, you're missing out on all of this. You have no idea what all of this is. You're just here. You got to be like, I'm open to everything. And so you let go of your belief structure. And that helps you get to them.
Instinct that you develop?
What's that?
An instinct
Instinct?
that you develop?
I think it's more like an awareness. When your awareness grows, you become aware of more things. So letting go of your belief structure and just being open to being aware, things will happen. And I remember when this room used to be where I taught Tai Chi. There was nothing here, it was an empty room. And you remember? I think you remember this. Back there were two woven seats back there. The bamboo kind of seats, right? And Cheryl will remember this, I know she will. You started crying one night. She was sitting on one of those benches one night and she started crying. And Cheryl will tell you why.
I felt the energy of the sadness of the whole creation of the tree being like, I don't know, I just connected with the tree and it just was a really sad experience for me. Yeah. So it's just all the connection with the energy of nature.
So and those things will happen. And you're like, wow, why doesn't that happen to me all the time? It doesn't. But like once in a while, those things will just open up and you're like, wow. And I remember Wendy was here too, and you sat there and we were like, oh, and she connected to the energy of this thing because everything carries energy. This has energy in it. If you look at this under a microscope, it is not solid. It's made of atoms, yeah? What's an atom made of? Come on, you remember those classes? The electron, the proton, and the neutron, they're all flying around, right? And it's mostly empty space, right? An atom is mostly empty space. That seems pretty solid, right? but it's made of atoms. So when you look under a microscope, this thing's moving. Right? It's energy. It's just energy in a different form. Is all it is. Okay? Somebody had a question. Somebody was going to ask you another question, I thought. No?
Where she's explaining, sometimes when I meditate in my house and I finish, I come to walk with my dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I have this feeling that I part to everything.
That you what?
That I part to everything, to the trees, to the flowers.
What about it?
I feeling that I'm not
Separate.
yes.
Yeah.
But that is after my meditation. I experience that all.
The connection with that.
Yes.
So then there's no distance anymore, right?
No.
Right.
It's
That's what I'm
very
talking
right,
about. Now she and the tree are one because the energy is all together oneness. And you feel it. You feel it. You can experience that by the next time you're outside and you're with a tree, because I used to do this with my Tai Chi students, is look at a tree like the tree is looking at you.
Yeah, you feel like that. I feel
Right?
like that, right?
Look at the tree like the tree is looking at you. And all of a sudden you would go, ooh, that thing's got energy, dude. Whoa. Because it comes alive then. Because we look at it like an object, right? But if you look at it like it's looking at you, all of a sudden it becomes alive, right? And it's a tree. Do you look at people that way? Really? Even the ones you're mad at? Oh, okay. But like, aren't there people like, I don't want to know them?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I'll quickly get into a little bit of this reincarnation. So when you come back, you will. When you come back, we come back around people that we've been around before. That's why there's familiarities. That's why my grandson's running to him. There's familiarity there in a different space. And my grandson is young, so he doesn't have that like, well, I'm not going to run up to that guy even though I feel like I know him, right? When you're an adult, but a kid's just open, right? And they're going to do it, okay? So we come around the same sort of people we've been around before. Not only that, but the people in your life that are problems for you, okay? The people in your life that are problems for you are your teachers. They're showing you something that you need to learn.
That's something you need to learn not to be.
So, let me see if I can give you an example. I'll give you an example of how realizing something changes things, okay? So I know some of my past lives. I know the one I lived before this one. But there's one from a very long time ago. Anyway, so I have two daughters. My older daughter, I never worried about her going anywhere. My younger daughter, I worried about her going everywhere. I'm like, what's the difference here, right? I always worried about her going anywhere. I would worry. And then one time, deep in meditation, and I saw a life from a long time ago, and I'm like, I'm on camera. So you got to understand this, okay, from different perspectives. I'll explain different perspectives, but like, back then she was not my daughter, okay, just so we understand, but I was a plunderer. I raped and killed her, okay? I was still carrying this. And here's the same energy back again. Here's the two daffodils, they're back again, right? I'm like, why am I so worried about this? When I saw that life and realized what it is, all my fears went away. And like that, they just like, oh, that's why. And it all changed. because I recognized the energy in that, and that got lifted from me. You understand? You understand? So when the people that you have issues with come to you, you have to try to, in meditation, try to ask, what is the lesson here? What is the lesson here? There's a value in that. Everything that you've, like we talked about before, everything, thoughts, words, deeds, actions, they're all right here. Every thought, word, and action that you've ever done through all your lives are right here with you right now. They're right here with you right now. And so the journey, the spiritual journey, the spiritual path is finding those things, so that the reason you're still coming back life after life is because you still have this karma from the past. Until you clear this, you will be in that cycle. So the Buddhists talk about, the end of the cycle of birth and death. Okay? This is a conversation for another time, but there's lots of different layers to you. Okay? It's not just this. There are 3 parts to you here right now. The human part, which is the animal instinct. We have an animal instinct, right? Survival, get food, protect yourself. That's the animal instinct, like all animals have. And then there's the thoughtful part of you, of the human, right? The more spiritual part of you. There's a consciousness there, right? A thinking and deliberating, all this stuff. And then there's an astral part of you. There's another energy body that's there that isn't this. Like the aura you're talking about, the aura, right? That's an energy field that is you too. So as you progress along the path, you start to see all these things in your life and the karma. And so then you realize the things and they never go away, but the bond to them is gone. And so they no longer hold you. But there's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. We've all done really horrible shit. I'm sorry, but we have. It's why you're here still. And understand that there's no such thing as a reward and punishment system. There's no God up there going, you better repent. It doesn't work like that. It's not that at all. It's just that this world is a world of cause and effect, right? For something to be, there has to be a cause, and then there's an effect, right? What's the cause? Me hitting the table. What's the effect? Sound, right? Cause, effect. This is the world we live in, cause and effect. Every thought, word, and action is a cause, and there's an effect to all of it. Everything has an effect. Like the latest post that Lisa just put out for me. It's like there's a round pool, you drop a stone in it. The ripples go out in all directions. So that action affects everything. Not only that, but it hits the side, and it comes back to you. And you get affected by it too, right? Boom, right? So your thoughts, words, and actions. So if you build up positive thoughts, words, and actions, now you're building a different karma. Understand? And this is how you get out of the cycle of birth and rebirth and rebirth and rebirth. And then you get to where I know, and I go, you idiot. Like, really, dude? When you realize the things that you've done, you're like, wow. Because you'll get to that point where you, like, people say, well, so what? Like, I don't remember. A time will come when you will. And that's when you go, really? Oh, man. oh man, okay, I gotta change how things are happening here. I gotta change. Yes?
Can you undo the causes, or do you just create new causes that have no effect?
So, like I said, you can't undo anything. It's all here. It just doesn't have an effect on you anymore. So you undo it by creating different karma, building merit, right? The more positive things you do for people, now you're released from the past stuff. It's still there, you know. I don't mind saying this because it's in my book. But I was sexually abused when I was a child. That's never going to go away. I can't say like that did not happen. Of course it happened, right? It's not going to go away, but I don't have a bond to it anymore. It has no effect on me anymore because I can think about it now and it has no effect. Where before, I would think about it and I want to kill someone, right? Because it had an effect on me. But letting go of the bond to it, I'm released from it. But it's still there. It's not like I can't deny it, right? There's no point in denying stuff. It's there, but you're not connected to it anymore as a bond or an emotional connection to it anymore. That's the release. That's the release. If you only knew, and you will get there, but if you only knew what you really are is better than anything that you can even imagine in your mind. It's better than anything you can imagine in your mind. And the reason I say that is because when anyone asks me what that is, I don't have any words for it. There are no words to explain it. Bliss doesn't explain it. And you're that. You just don't know it yet. You will. You just don't know it yet. But you will find out one day, because you can't live with I don't know forever. You will find out. So how quickly do you want to find out? At least 20 minutes a day. But I can tell you this, that all the masters that have ever lived, all the Buddhas, Jesus, Buddha, Kuan Yin, so there are anyway a lot of enlightened beings and gurus today, right, will tell you exactly the same thing. They all talked about the same thing. It's no different at the base. It's always the same thing. You know what they all taught? Compassion and loving kindness. Every single one of them. Compassion and loving kindness. Do unto others what you do to yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. It's not hyperbole. It's real. You are your neighbor. You are one. So when you get to that place and you realize that, you go, oh man, right? And then we still falter. We do crazy stuff, right? And that's okay. We just keep on learning. Any other questions before we finish up? Wow, okay. I didn't know I was that thorough, but okay. I have a class starting next week. You're coming, right? You're coming? No, not you. Were you coming to the class? No, I think it was somebody else. Sorry. Paul is coming. I have a class starting next Monday, and Shelly's coming. It's going to be here. It's meditative and energy awareness. So it's a 6-week course. It's on, if you go to edsteachings.com, it's on there. There's only a few spots left. But I'll be teaching more about how to connect meditatively and energetically with your physical as well. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Well, you know what they say in Ireland, right? You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.